And welcome back to the Morning Blend. Well, for breakfast today, how about scrambled eggs, toast, and a frank conversation?
Today, we're going to help you start the conversation about hearing loss with a loved one.
Dr. Gwen Candula is a board-certified doctor of audiology. She is here with more on that. Nice to have you.
It's so nice to be here again.
It's so nice to have you. I think this is a great idea. You're actually doing breakfast.
We are.
And doing a presentation about hearing loss.
Absolutely.
And it's free.
It is.
I'm there.
Yeah.
We're hoping to start a dialogue, and hearing loss for so many people can be something they don't quite want to delve into. It can be kind of hard to talk about. So we're starting this breakfast series, Eardrums and Edibles, in a bunch of different neighborhoods, and we're inviting everybody out to come and have breakfast with us. We'll have kind of the presentation, or a seminar really, on a lot of those frequently asked questions and just an overview of what hearing loss and hearing aids look like. And then they'll be able to have time for some one-on-one, answer your questions, do a little mini consults really, if you would.
That's great.
So we all know someone who has a difficult time hearing, and they're always hesitant about trying to seek out help. Why is that? Why are people so afraid?
Well, two parts to that question. To start out, when there's one person in the family that has hearing loss, it's really the entire family that has a communication problem. That's a famous quote by a very smart audiologist that I so often rely to, that it is a family problem that needs to be dealt with. The reason I think so many people are so hesitant, though, to get help is because in the past, the technology wasn't there to do what we can do nowadays. So before we had dated devices that were really limited, people didn't love their hearing aids the way they do today. And nowadays, it's just, it boggles my mind what we can do for even really tough listening situations to get people hearing and turn down that background noise. It's
a lot of us associate hearing loss with aging, and definitely that happens, but it's not just a problem that happens to us as we age, right?
It isn't. It isn't. A lot of us are genetically predisposed to have, let's say, like a weaker hearing nerve that can more easily be damaged. And damage is just any noise that we hear. It doesn't have to be those real loud sounds or jackhammers and things like that that you think about. Just our daily exposure, being in a city, for example, hearing the traffic go by. That's enough noise. If you have a weaker nerve, that's enough noise for a lot of folks to damage it. Yeah.
So with so many different places that you can go to get your hearing checked, why is it so important to go to a place that specializes in that type of treatment?
Well, I'm sure everybody's noticed, maybe you haven't noticed, but I've noticed there's a lot of little hearing aid dealers popping up, and there's a lot of different places you can get hearing aids. You can get hearing aids at Costco nowadays, but hearing loss is a medical disease. It's a disease process, and it really needs to be managed. And we need to figure out what's going on with it. So at our office, we have a team approach, doctors of audiology, medical doctors, working together to make sure that we're managing the disease of hearing loss the best possible way that we can.
What does it mean, or what's the advantage as a patient that you're an individual medical practice?
Oh, that's a good question, Molly. Being individual like we are, we're not affiliated with any manufacturer specifically. So manufacturers, meaning manufacturers of hearing aids, which a lot of little individual practices are. So that really allows us to keep our thumb on the pulse of what's happening in the hearing industry. And as new products are coming out, we can bring those into our mix. So we always have the very latest technology to offer people. We always have the very best hearing aids that are available. And that's something, you know, being advanced, that part of our name, that's something we've really worked hard to keep up with and make sure we always have the deepest toolbox, all the tools in there we can possibly have, so we can answer any questions when someone comes in.
Sure. So what is Advent's approach to working with people?
It is that medical
hearing
model.
loss?
So we've got the very highest level of education and certification for all of the practitioners that you would see. So when you come in, it really is the most advanced place that you can have these things looked at, as well as being a really caring place. We always make sure we want to listen to patients, and when somebody comes in, we want to spend that time hearing what their issues are so that then we can really look at all the different options that we have available to meet their needs.
Let's talk about these breakfasts that you're doing. Again, it's a complimentary breakfast, which I think is great. You can even get special gifts.
Yes.
It's called, I love the name of it, Eardrums and Edibles. And you're going to different neighborhoods.
We are. First of all, we can associate anything with food. Yeah. That's not a stretch for me.
Yeah.
So Eardrums was a natural mix. But we wanted to have something informational, but yet a little lighthearted and fun that people can come out to in a totally non-threatening, easily communicatable format where they can ask questions. We'll go over kind of the frequently asked questions about hearing loss, but they can then really get any of those little doubts they've had in their mind. We can address those and have some fun while we do it.
And I think it's a good idea to kind of meet off campus, so to speak.
You know, it relaxes folks a little. I don't have any tools in the restaurant. I won't be touching your ears. Yes.
I think that's great. And the first program is actually this Wednesday, and it's happening in Brookfield. So here's a list then for Eardrums and Edibles. Again, it's a free public seminar with a complimentary breakfast and special gifts. A great opportunity to ask some questions. Again, the first one happening this Wednesday, April 17th at Brookfield Family Restaurant. April 24th, you're at Penelope's Restaurant in Elm Grove. Then May 1st at Maxim's in Brookfield. And then May 8th, you're going to be at the City Market in Wauwatosa. The breakfasts are at 9 o'clock. All you need to do is call to register. The phone number is 414-375-2050, or you can go to Advent.md. The Hearing Center at Advent is located at Highway 100 and Watertown Plank Road in Wauwatosa. And again, that website is Advent.md. Great idea, and thanks for being here to share it.
Thanks so much. I am really excited for it. Thank you.
I can see why. Thanks for being here.